Welcome to my show, One for the Kitchen, One for the Soul. Today I'm with Anand Raman. He's one of my friends, and we are going to talk about his profession and his passions. So tell me a little bit about what you studied and what's your profession, what's your living?
Okay, so I'm a computer engineer. I studied computer science, computer engineering, and I work as an engineer in one of the startups in the valley.
So
Uh,
where did you study?
I started in Mumbai, got my bachelor's there. Then I got my master's in USC in LA.
Now you're just computer engineering,
Right.
and you've been doing that for last 6-7 years now.
Well, I did that for 4 years in India, and then
Oh, really?
yeah, I was a
Engineer.
software engineer in India
Okay.
after my bachelor's.
Okay.
So I did that for 4 years before I came to the US for
Okay.
my master's.
Uh-huh.
And then since my master's, it's been like 7 years now that I've been working. So
Yeah.
overall, like 10, 11 years. Yeah. Initially, I was very attracted to like the systems, the back end, because that's where all the complexity is.
Yeah.
Getting those things to work right was hard, and I was attracted by the complexity of the problem. So after doing that for a while, I realized that I was really far away and disconnected from the end user of the software.
Yeah.
And when you see people using technology and how it enables and changes their lives, like that's very satisfying as well. So then I started moving more towards the people. So that was my transition from being a back-end server-side engineer to being more interacting with the user and being a front-end engineer, which is what I'm doing today. So now I make the screens and the UI and all the functionality that the users can interact with. So that's been my transition.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk more about what do you do outside of your regular job.
Right. Outside of work, the things that interest me, like computer games, motorsport. So I'm a huge fan of Formula One, and I've been doing karting since I
Is
was
it
a
the
kid.
F1?
Yeah,
F1
F1
games? Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only sport I watch, like Formula One. Like I really don't watch any cricket.
What is it actually? I have no idea about it. So just tell me
Okay.
from the basic, like
So
what
from
exactly
the
is
basic,
it?
it's a car race.
Yeah.
It's a race of like
On a racetrack, right?
on a racetrack, on
Okay.
a dedicated closed racetrack. So it's a closed course where you're racing cars and your aim is to win over a fixed number of laps. I mean, the number of laps are decided by distance. So it's usually like 300 kilometers is what they're racing. So whoever comes first at the end of that, and because it's a closed circuit, you got to make laps around the same circuit to complete those 300 kilometers. So depending on the length of a lap, your number of laps will be decided, because the distance is the same. Everybody's racing the same distance.
But they are in a different circle.
So the configurations are different, and they're in different countries. The terrains are different and everything.
Okay.
So that is a very engineering heavy sport, because unlike other sports which are very much like an individual performance like tennis or a team performance like soccer or cricket, this is a man and machine combination. So the machine is built by a team of engineers, and then it's up to the driver to drive that machine, and make it go as fast as possible. So I think it's the ultimate of the ultimate human fitness, as well as like ultimate engineering test. It's a battle of the engineers to build the best machinery that does not fail, that goes the fastest in the least amount of time, and the humans who are competing with those machines, because they are going through a lot of forces, like stuff that astronauts train for. Like these guys are training for that kind of stuff. They need extreme focus over those 2.5 hours. Like they need to be like focused 100%. Their bodies like probably losing 4 kilograms during the course of the race.
Really?
Every race, right? So then they need to focus on their fitness and so it's pretty intense. Even when we go-karting, it gets a little bit dangerous, because the wheels are open, right? And usually in cars the wheels are covered. So when the wheels are open and the wheels of two different carts, like they entangle, they're rotating in different directions, so they could flip the cart. And because you're sitting in an open vehicle, you could like the car could flip, you could get hit.
So this is also open, like go-kart?
Formula 1 is also open.
Oh, okay.
So these are called open wheel single-seater racing. It's a specific kind of racing. As opposed to stock racing like NASCAR, which is like a covered car, or rally, which is a covered car. So computer games, motorsport, and then dancing.
How did that dancing thing happen? Because it is so different than that kind of a sport, right?
yeah, I think I was extremely uncomfortable dancing, so I would not be dancing in India like growing up.
Yeah.
So when I came here, I think for me the first thing was like I wanted to do something out of my comfort zone, and I was looking for classes for dancing.
Just like that.
So at USC, so I found like one of these student groups.
Oh yeah, USC had a lot of
so they had these ballroom dance clubs, Latin dance clubs. So that's how I found that they would teach you to dance. Because growing up, like nobody really taught us to dance. Like you just picked it up. Like you would watch it on TV. Your friends would do it. You just pick it up. You go on the streets and dance. So I was like, okay, if somebody's teaching me, I can try and see how it is. But then these dances are all partner dances, and it's so different from like we just dance by ourselves. And these are partner dances. So I think the second scary part is to dance with a partner, and you don't want to step on them. You don't want to fall on her, right? So like maintaining your balance and then maintaining the space, like so you want to turn and you want to move around without like really
smoothly, basically.
Right, you want to be smooth, but also give each other space, and you need to communicate non-verbally, because you can't tell her that okay, let's go right or let's go left. When you learn the patterns and when you practice, it's like learning a new language, because now you're learning how to communicate with another person who also speaks the same language, but this language just happens to be non-verbal. So there are all these cues that you use with your body. You shift your weight. You have to be very aware of on which leg her weight is, and then you can decide which way to move. And you also want to be in sync. Like you don't want to be ahead of her. You don't want to be behind her. But it's not just your partner. You have to also listen to the music, and you want to be on time with the music. So because of these challenges, I think that makes it very interesting for me. There is a lot of it's hard, but it's not too hard.
What made you choose this kind of dance form?
Right, I think it was a series of things. One was like I could only choose out of what was available back in college, which was ballroom.
So in USC, in university, it was just
so we had ballroom, swing, and salsa. So out of these, I think it was just about like, because you need to listen to the music and be on time. It was which sound can I actually hear. So like with swing, I couldn't really figure out like where the beats were. I learned the steps, but I wasn't on time. With ballroom, I think the thing was nobody dances it socially for fun. It's mostly for competitions, and I didn't want to compete. So then that just left me with salsa, and the salsa music is louder, so it's also kind of like more peppy and it's more casual. So people do dance it casually and not for a performance. So it's not like you are performing and the pressure of performance is not there as much. But then I found myself not really enjoying the salsa music as much, and I started exploring what other music and dance forms are there out there. And I came across bachata, then I came across zouk, and I came across kizomba. And I really liked the music for zouk and kizomba. Zouk is a mixture of like African, like West African and Brazilian influences, and then that's also very relaxed kind of music, and the same thing with kizomba, that's also African, also very relaxed. But then with both zouk and kizomba, because they are newer, they have more of this like R&B kind of mix into it, which makes it more relaxed, as opposed to salsa, which is kind of older, so more traditional, has more of the traditional instruments. These ones tend to have more of the electronic instruments, playing electronic sounds. So more contemporary, what I like, I think.
So tell me, you go to a lot of groups and like you guys get together and then dance instead of joining like a dance company. How is that? How is it different? Is it like you have to pay to a dance company and that's the only difference, or
The difference there is again performance versus social. So a dance company is a performance company, and the same thing with Bollywood classes. Like they would teach you only if you would sign up to perform. Like they wouldn't. They really are interested in putting on a show at the end of the series. Like they will teach you a choreography. So the difference is when they're teaching you a choreography for performance, then you're only learning the choreography. So what we learn is we learn the building blocks. We learn these different patterns, which then we can
apply.
We can mix and match and create our own choreography on the dance floor. Every time we dance to the same song, if we could dance a different way, because we like the guys need to decide how to like what is the pattern, what is the combination to be put up with. It could be just the way you're feeling that day, or like what's going on, like if you know the person, if you don't know it, if she's a beginner, if she's an advanced, like you could change it up completely.
But who teaches it then? You just learn by meeting people, and they you just learn by just talking to people?
No, we have classes for these as well. So we have
there
workshops.
Will be a teacher.
There will be a teacher, there will be workshops. So we keep going to these classes, we learn the patterns. But then the aim of these classes is social dance and not performance. So they will not teach you a choreography, they will teach you the individual building blocks, which then you can string it together into a choreography of your own for a song.
Okay.
As opposed to like a 6-week choreography which you perform.
Okay.
So I like this one where I learn the building blocks and then I decide what to do. Then I feel like I'm creating my own interpretation of the music when I'm dancing every time on the dance floor.